Welcome everyone from What's on the Table. This is Prof G and you are watching another episode of Graded, the show where we're not just going to unbox or review a particular statue, collectible, or figure. We are actually going to give it a grade at the end of each video. And for this video, we won't be doing any grading today, as what we have here right in front of us is the prototype of the legendary LBS Studios 1/3 scale Venom. Two versions of Venom actually. We have version A and we have version B. And in this video, I'm gonna try to give you a much more detailed look at the 1/3 scale Prestige Series Venom prototype by legendary LBS Studios. This is graded first look. No flashy lights, no special effects. This is going to be a raw video. Now, after the first look video of Spider-Man that we did last week, I kinda teased you already at the end of that video that we are gonna do a deep dive on this 1/3 scale Venom by LBS. Right there on your screen, you see them side by side just for size comparison and giving you an idea how it would look like if you partner them together on your display shelves. And this particular LBS Venom is gonna be up for pre-order. And before we begin, I would like to say thank you again to legendary LBS Studios for lending me this 1/3 scale Prestige Series Venom for a limited time only. And actually, while doing this first look video, there were new announcements that LBS released in their social media platforms, which kinda answered my initial questions about this piece. But we are still gonna tackle it one by one in this video. Alright, so let's begin by setting up the base. So in the gallery that LBS showed us, they did mention that the back wall that contains the offspring of the Venom symbiote is going to be optional. Meaning you can get a version of it either with or without in your final orders. And I think that is one of the questions of the community when they asked if the back wall is only exclusive for the version B, and a lot even asked if the back wall will have the option of being removed because for personal preferences, they don't like having the obstruction at the back. Which is totally understandable because not a lot of statues have a back wall as part of the design. So there you go. Yes, the back wall is optional and you do have the option to not use it if you don't feel like having a wall at the back. So to put it together, just have the main base here, attach the lower part of the back wall and it snaps just like that. Place the upper part of the back wall, and this one is a very heavy piece, guys, so you gotta be very careful because this really has some weight to it. And that's it. You got your back wall. I personally do like the back wall, but that's just my preference because I think the design of seeing Spider-Man, Carnage, and the Venom symbiotes adds a little bit of story to it. Plus, I think I mentioned this in the first look video of Spider-Man, they go well together as both statues have that back wall as part of their design. And while we're at it, let's put the remaining pieces as well. You have 3 pieces of symbiote here, 1, 2, and 3. Add the bell, which will be pegged on top of one of the symbiotes, and then you can already place this heavy, and I mean heavy Venom statue piece on that thick and deep peg over there at the base. Now before we move on, let's talk about the base a little bit. Now at the base, you have a lot of symbiote slime in what seems to be like it's climbing from the bottom to the top of the base, and in the middle, you have the gargoyle as a centerpiece design. Now initially, this was null. But legendary LBS Studios decided to change it as I've heard they had plans for Null in a different LBS project. So maybe, just maybe, we are gonna see Null again in a different LBS project, so who knows? Moving up, you are gonna see the damaged bell at the center, which was kinda heavy by the way. Nice looking bronze color that gives it a little bit of contrast to the base, and surrounding this area over here is more symbiote rising up as if it's about to attach again to Venom. Maybe, just maybe, since Venom is very sensitive to sound, some of the symbiote was detached from him and working its way back again to Eddie Brock. At least that's how I kinda read the scene to be. Moving up at the back wall, you are gonna see Carnage and Spider-Man carved at the back. But if you turn it around, this is actually really nice, you are gonna see the offspring of the Venom symbiote. So you're gonna see here Carnage, Scream, Lasher, Phage, Agony, and Riot. And having Venom and the offspring carved at the back wall looks really, really cool. And yeah, I kinda dig it. Alright, that's the whole assembly. Let's move on and check out the 2 versions of the legendary LBS Studios Venom. Let's start with version A. Version A stands 36 inches tall from the bottom of the base, right at the very tip of his hand. It's around 21 inches wide with consideration to the symbiote attached to the base, and the depth is around 15 inches. So you got a very good size of this 1/3 scale Venom, and when I did this side by side with Spider-Man, the body mass comparison of Venom versus Spidey is huge, and I don't think the video gives it justice, but in person, you're really gonna see that size difference. Now when it comes to the body, version A has the black and white colorway, and from afar, you are gonna see that it does have a shiny look. But when you look closely, you will see a lot of texture and even small strands of symbiote that kind of looks like veins all over the body. You have the spider emblem at the middle, and it's not just painted over, it's embossed. And I think I remember saying this in my ToyCon coverage, it kind of reminded me of the texture and look of the original Spawn movie, right there on the screen. So it's kind of like that. Moving on to the portrait, you have Venom looking up with tongue out and mouth wide open in what seems to be like he is ready to devour whatever it is on his hands. I think the pose and especially the head sculpt looks really good. Especially the head sculpt, because between the two versions, this is probably my second favorite head sculpt for the Venom release. Initially also, there was a seam line here, but since this is just a prototype, Jay removed the seam line and mentioned that the final production piece will no longer have a seam line as there are no head switch outs for this version. So this will just be one piece, which some collectors do appreciate, because I do remember some collectors, they don't like seam lines. And I remember they say that they don't like head switch outs. So this would be perfect for them. Not me though, I love switch outs, I love alternate head portraits, and since this version will not have alternate portraits, the price point is gonna be lower than version B. So that's version A, guys. Let's now move on to Venom version B. Now the version B, I am gonna say it, this turned out to be the preferred version of most collectors, and I don't blame them because of the alternate portraits that you will get for this version. Now we're no longer gonna do the whole assembly of the statue because it's pretty much the same as version A, but the main difference of this version is the pose, the color, and the alternate portraits that is going to be included. Let's start with the body and the pose. So if version A has his hands up with the Venom head tongue out and mouth wide open, this one has both his arms at the side, kind of like he is flexing or posing as if he is already ready to fight. And similar to version A, you have a bulky sculpt of Venom with a lot of texture and shine, but another difference would be the color, as this version has kind of like that bluish sheen on it, which I prefer over the plain black and white version. Again, I'm not saying that this is the better colorway, but this is just my preference. But yeah, I do like the color on this one. It still maintains the glossy look and texture, but if you have some light shine on it, the bluish sheen will really be much more noticeable, and yeah, I appreciate that. But I think the main value that you're gonna get for version B is really the alternate heads. And right now you're seeing the default head, which is the classic look of Venom with grinning teeth. I mean, look at that. Holy moly, that looks really good right there. And it actually works well with the pose because you have that sinister look as if he's saying, man, you better run. You're gonna be dinner pretty soon if you don't. Something like that. I like this portrait, but let's check out the others. You have the transformation portrait where you're gonna see Eddie Brock and the Venom symbiote almost covering his face. And you can also see on the left side of his face, Venom is already starting to form. His teeth and big tongue coming out as well, so that looks pretty good. Looks good, to be fair. I like the transformation, but I like this next one even more. And this is the Eddie Brock and Venom duo, where the head of Venom is formed above his left shoulder. And look at that Venom. Looks pretty good, man. I like it. And Eddie Brock also screaming, and I like the details that they did on the teeth, the tongue, and basically this is my favorite head sculpt from the set because it's giving me that Marvel vs. Capcom vibes. Not sure if you remember it, but it's this one right here. Bluish tone also, and he also has Venom above his left shoulder, so yeah, this is sick, man. I really like it. And this just in, guys, I think their approval just happened right on time. Since a lot of the collectors are wishing to have the version A head sculpt to be included in version B, Legendary Beast Studios made an announcement that their request to Marvel to add another head sculpt got approved. So, yay for us. I mean, I was already sold to get version B. But having this additional head sculpt right here is icing on the cake. A lot of collectors are gonna be happy with this news. Also, I saw in the group that Jay and the LBS team are really keen to fix the issue of the visible seams. I mean, we already know that version A will no longer have seam lines on the neck part as it's just gonna be one piece. And looks like LBS is doing the same thing with version B. Now, according to the LBS group discussion, the seams will no longer be on the collarbone, and as you can see here, it's really visible at the back. Now, to be honest, from afar, I didn't notice it, but looking at it up close, it did bother me a little bit. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, I will call it as it is. The seam lines on the collarbone is visible, and I can see how it can bother some people. Not all, some collectors. But when I got word from Jay and the LBS team that they are fixing this issue and working on new ways to hide the seam and will be shifted below the chin line, I was really relieved to find out that they did not settle with this design and engineering, and they heard the feedback of the community. So yeah, another good news for us. We won't be seeing those seam lines on this statue as per Jay and the LBS team. Now for the measurement, if version A is 36 inches, the highest point of version B is around 36.5 inches. So yeah, a difference of just half an inch. But which one do you guys prefer? Version A or version B? And if you're going for version B, which head sculpt do you like the most? Let me know in the comments. Now before we end this video, let's talk about size and scale very quick. So if you search in Google, the height of Venom is 6'3", or at least that's what it says. Maybe in the comics, but we can't really say that to be accurate as there are a lot of versions of Venom when it comes to his size. This one says 6'3", other sources say Venom could be 7 feet tall, and sometimes he even goes up to 10 feet tall. So yeah, the main point is Venom is way bigger and taller than Spidey. Although the pose of Spider-Man on top of the ledge made it seem like vertically they are the same size, which is a clever design by the way, but looking at it up close, they have a huge size difference. So there you have it guys for the first look video. What do you think of this 1/3 scale Venom by LBS? I know we see a lot of dynamic Venom poses out there, and LBS being LBS, they're really known for doing museum poses, which is up my alley. I've seen in the LBS groups that some collectors will get one of each version. I mean, dude, that is next level commitment. But for me, I'm gonna go for version B and will partner it with my upcoming LBS Spider-Man. Oh yeah, by the way guys, before we end this, for real this time, if we really want to broaden our imagination and have another size comparison aside from Spider-Man, why not have it beside the 1/3 scale Prestige series Thanos? Yup, the first look video of the Legendary Beast 1/3 scale Thanos is coming soon. Spoiler alert, it's even bigger than Venom. Thank you guys for watching this first look video. Again, I'm not sponsored by Legendary Beast Studios, nor do I have any affiliate links on any e-commerce platforms. They were kind enough to lend me this prototype piece again, and I have to emphasize that this is just a prototype piece. So if you like what you see here, knowing LBS, they will make more improvements along the way. I mean, it's no secret, we've seen it in their previous releases. So again, thank you to the Legendary Beast Studios team for lending me the 1/3 scale Prestige series Venom. Thanks guys for watching another episode of Graded. If you like this video, give me a shout in the comment section below. I'm gonna have this on pre-order, but let me know what you guys think. And if you want to check out my other graded episodes of Legendary Beast Studios, here are the thumbnails right in front of you. Thanks again guys, this is Prof G and you just watched another episode of Graded. See you all on the next one.